Hello, this video is to show you how to play the Soma game in Second Life for this tutorial. Off the screen that you can't see is the Second Life interface, which will be apparent when you log in and start using it. All I'm going to be showing you at this point is how to manipulate objects on the screen and move them around. So I've just put out two blocks on the screen which you'll be getting. The easiest way to do this is to have a look at the blocks. Use your camera key, which is either Option on a Mac or Alt. It's called Alt Zooming, and you'll get this mouse which will appear. And you can move around and change your camera view. And you're probably going to need to click and move in order to see what you're doing. If you hold down the Control key at the same time, you can pan up and down and move it around. So you notice my avatar's not moving, but the camera's moving so I can see what I'm doing. So when I've got it in a spot where I think I'm happy, I'm going to stop doing that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the object and it brings me up a menu. The menu allows me to do a whole bunch of things. The thing I want to do is actually edit. So I'm going to press edit and click. And you'll see that the object has some arrows indicating three-dimensional directions. We can move the object up by clicking the blue arrow and moving it down. I know when it's on the floor because it will start to disappear into the floor. And as this is a virtual world, we can do anything we like with objects. So I'm going to bring this object up. I'm going to try and align it with the yellow blocks. So I'm going to use the red. Move it across. I'm going to stop. I think I've nearly got it lined up. I'm going to use the blue, bring it back up, and I'm going to use the green. I'm going to roughly put the block in place. As you'll see, the blocks will collide and go over each other. That's not what I want to happen. I've got to use my skill and dexterity to judge when I think it's nearly in place. We're not using grid coordinates, so we're doing all of this by eye. If I zoom in, have a look at my block, I'll use the red key again, and I'll move them across. If I hold down my Alt key, I can zoom in and out, look at the object. If I hold down the Control key at the same time, I can spin the object around, and I can start to notice that I haven't quite got it where I want it. So I'm going to let go, and I'm going to use the block tool again, and I'm going to move the green one across, slide it into place. And I'm going to move the red one and bring it back across this way. And do this by eye. I can still turn around and I see that I'm still not quite right. So I need to move it down and move it back. Okay. If I want to move the yellow box, I can click on it and I can move that up and down in the same fashion and move it around until I get the blocks where I want them. If I spin it around, I can see that I've roughly got my blocks in place. Don't worry too much about the accuracy. What we're trying to do here is just prove the concept of getting the box in place. So I can click on the objects when I want and move them up and down. You get the idea, right? I get them as accurate as I think I can just by looking at them. Quite a quick demonstration of how to move the blocks around. The second thing I might need to do is I might need to move my blocks and through a rotation because they might not be quite how I want them. So to do that, I move over the object in edit mode and I press the Control key and you'll see this ball turns up on the screen. That allows me to rotate through these different planes. So if I want to move it over, I can highlight the green plane, and if I click, you'll see that I get north, south, east and west coordinates. If I move around this outside here, it lets me do it in single degrees, which isn't very accurate for when you're trying to turn this thing around. If I move outside the circle, you see that it's snapping to other vectors. So I can go through 9 degrees really easily. The easiest way to do it is to choose, move through 90 degrees and put it in place. And I've got my object doing something slightly different. So just to recap, I can right click to edit the object. I can move it around through different angles, and I can move it backwards and forwards using these keys. What I'm aiming to do is to manipulate these shapes in order to make a structure, which is your task. When you've finished fiddling with your blocks, all you need to do is on your screen you will see this palette. All you need to do is turn it off and it will go. If you want to get back into edit mode, right click, press edit, the palette will turn up. If you want to fine tune it using mathematics, if you go to the object tab, you'll see that in here I can move things backwards and forwards in small increments, or I can use mathematics. Again, when you finish, press the box, out it goes. I'm going to zoom back out using Alt Option just to show you where I am.